Hola mis amigos, today we're making an abanico. Me llamo Christos.
Me llamo Liam.
Me llamo Luke.
Me llamo Baltazar.
The simple fan concept was made in Japan and China and was passed down through the Vietnam and Portuguese trade routes, which then came to Spain and was called the Abanico.
I bet many of you guys wonder what the handicraft was used for. Well, in many paintings show men and women holding fans. This tells us that fans weren't just used for staying cold. They're also a fashion accessory. They're an important part about how some people dress and showed their styles.
Although the fan concept was first created in Japan and China, we are using the Spanish version of it. The Abanico was not only used to cool somebody off, but it was used to demonstrate power. The people who used this Abanico in the late 14th century were very, very wealthy. The Abanico was used to demonstrate power, like jewelry for example. It also became part of the famous dance in Spain, the flamenco, where dancers would flail their Abanicos in certain motions.
Spaniards started making their own fans from trade outside of Portugal and Vietnam in the 14th century. The two countries would trade heavily in China and Japan, where the fan concepts were first made in the 13th century. The Spanish made their own fans with little variation here and then called it the Abanico.
The abanico is still made in Spain and the Philippines, where families traditionally make it by hand, while some manufacturers still mass produce it.
I bet you guys are wondering, do people even still use abanicos? Well, local Spaniards use it for fun and somewhat origami for the children and to stay cool in the summer, but it's also used for a famous Spanish dance where dancers would use two abanicos and roll them in and out.
Abanico was made using harder and more durable materials like wood, ivory, and parchment. They would have certain designs of flowers and leaves taken from its Chinese origins, but it was made with simple technique and no tools needed with specific folds.
Abanico was originally made using harder materials like wood and ivory, but our abanico is going to be much more simple using things like glue, paper, and a clip, and some markers here and there, but it's going to be okay. I can help it. No, stop.
My personal connection with the abanico is when I was a young kid and I went to Spain. It was really hot, so I got an abanico, and it was the coolest thing ever.
5 Spanish words that we learned along the way. Number 1, doblar, which means to fold. Number 2, abanico, which means fan. Number 3, comercio, which means trade. Number 4, flor, which means flower. And number 5, enfriar, which means to cool.
First, we're going to start by coloring our paper before we fold it.
I'm going to start folding this paper, and Balthazar is going to start coloring the next paper.
Alright, now I'm going to fold this piece of paper similar to what we did here.
I'll be gluing the two parts of the fan together.
Now that we have our abanico all glued, we're gonna tape around the handle.
To give a good structure of the abanico, we're going to add these popsicle sticks into the abanico.
This is our finished abanico. Thank you for watching
Our
Video.